about two-fifths of the way there now, aren't we, to Kennedy?
Yeah.
Just hope it takes us straight to Visitor Centre this sat nav. Because once you get on Kennedy property, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You don't know what they've changed, do you?
First time we've been in about...
We went last time. 5 years now.
This person going so bloody slow. God's sake.
Device.
Please stop on the side of the road.
Hey?
Please stop on the side of the road.
It's on 73. What is it on here?
70.
Oh, yeah, over a bit. They're getting people. Road.
Space Center 7 mile away.
Slow nice. See the way.
It's 45. Speed limit's dropped. So it's
45.
Because of roadworks, it ticked. That's good. 35 now. Is that left hand?
Sorry. I've got one of my sons. Oh, look. Kennedy thing.
Oh yeah, launch pad.
Launch thing.
See it right over there. I think that big building.
What?
Space Center.
Oh, with the flag on.
What's that over there? Then?
They all look the same from this distance.
Close one. Yeah, it's I don't think this is a sea, I just think it's a very large lake. But
Why do you think that?
They don't say they don't say it.
because I can still see the edge of everything around us. And if it was sea, that's what means I can still see the edge
Well,
of
this
everything.
coastline, Mace, it's got like a big island running up edge of it, and that's what that is.
It's very cool.
So it is the sea. It's just on both sides of this island.
On Google Maps. Yeah, you can see launch pads now, can't you?
You can see it up that big building.
Yeah, and near it.
See that big square building over there, Mace, on left? That's where they assemble all rockets ready to launch.
Look, it's the sea.
Not guaranteed, no.
Oh.
Can't book a crocodile to be on the road. Can I book
I
17
wish.
crocodiles, please?
I'd love what's his name?
Probably,
It's not normally this one though, is it? It's the one that way.
probably drove past about 6 or 7. Just haven't seen them.
Oh, I've been looking. But every time we've come, we've seen them.
You just see them on that when you're on that coach, don't you?
That's what I'm saying. It's that one that
travelling
takes you that way.
Travelling down to that big building. Oh look, shuttle launchers there, look.
So,
In 1/4 of a mile, you will arrive at your destination. In 500 feet, you will arrive at your destination.
I don't remember going through this last time, do you?
you pay now? I don't remember paying.
Purchase parking from cashier.
Didn't know you had to pay.
Right lane.
Car's $10.
Car's $10.
This is new. You used to have to pay.
Got to make money, haven't they?
You have reached your destination.
I say it's first time, isn't it?
First time from COVID.
It's good. If you look, it says minus, so it's gone past it. So there might have been a launch yesterday, or it might be delayed. So God knows those. So we're just coming up to the entrance now. Got a feeling I'll be asked to stop recording when I get to the entrance. There's a rocket park. Yeah, usually ask you to take all your electricals out here, Danny. You sometimes have to switch them on to prove that they work in electricals. So I remember last time I brought a video camera, they made me take it out and switch it all on. Yeah, take your phones out. Thank you. Where do you get tickets then? What do you do about tickets? Are they the actual tickets? Are they?
Your barcode is.
Where's mine?
Well, I don't
You might have
know.
to separate them all. Because it looks like you've got to scan them. Just give me mine.
Hold on. There's no name on him. I don't know. Yeah, but it's on them all. That's 12 plus. 12 plus.
I don't have my other.
Slide it forward a little bit. Hold it away from the glass a little bit. There we go.
Thank
Come on
you.
through. Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, so we printed the tickets off back at home in the UK, and basically we've just you have to scan them on the little scanners there to get through. They're just sorting the rest of their tickets out. So yeah, it cost us £10 for parking here. It's never had to pay for parking before. The guy at the parking area said it's anything like that for about the last 2 years. So it must have been brought in to help them recover from COVID. I don't mind paying £10 for parking. It's an experience. But just got to wait for them all to get through now. It looks like picking some information up. We're going to get some food first. Everyone's hungry. What?
That's really on the birds decide to they wee.
Oh yeah.
Having a great time.
Bird chilling. So I think when we first came, this shop was basically out here on its own. The second time we came, there were a few more buildings. Now there's even more buildings. So it's getting bigger and bigger every time we come here. Mars rover built out of Lego. And I think we're heading for the Orbit Cafe. And I think that was, when we first came, that was laid on its side and there was a shuttle next to it. And then the second time we came, it was as it is now. So, have a look at the menu. 10 million. And we're inside. Yeah, this is the food court. Scan the QR code and place your order.
I want to take another sidebar. I want to show you a bald eagle's nest over here off the left. Looking over here off the left, you see this power pole right here. I need you to favor the front row of trees. The one tree right here, about the third tallest tree right here. All right, it's a little area at the top. There's a bald eagle in the middle, okay? But look back. This is a bald eagle's nest. Mom had babies at the end of at the end of December. At the end of this December. And she had the babies, and already those babies have gotten really big. In the human factor, I would say they're ready for jobs, okay? But again, that's during the human factor, okay? But anyway, looking back forward at the vehicle assembly building, this is a single-story building. This is called the Vehicle Assembly Building. Inside here is where NASA, only NASA, assembles all of those Apollo rockets and space shuttles inside here. No other contractors, ladies and gentlemen, use this facility, okay? This building is so huge, they say you can almost put 4 Empire State Buildings inside with no problem. You could even put the Yankee Stadium or the Roman Coliseum on top of this building. You still have over an acre of room left for parking. If you see that NASA logo, you'll see it again in just a few moments. It's the largest hand-painted NASA logo. Each letter on that logo happens to be 2 stories. Also, ladies and gentlemen, you should be able to see the flag here in just a moment. The flag is 21 stories tall. 21 stories tall. One stripe on the flag, ladies and gentlemen, happens to be larger than the road Beverly's traveling on. The blue section that holds the stars, that's the same size as your favorite NBA basketball court. And one star is 6 feet across from point to point. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the flag was hand-painted as well. It took about 500 gallons of paint to complete it. Yes, that's a lot of paint. But the employees look at it as job security, okay? okay?
Yeah.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, to the left of the flag, you notice there's two individual gray stripes coming down the west side of the building. These are the tallest garage doors in the world. And these doors, they do take about 45 minutes to fully open and close. Twin doors, identical to these two doors, but on the east side. From the east is where we exit the building. That's where we exit the building, taking the rockets to the launch pad, okay? Now, I'm going to make a quick right, and then I'm going to get into left-hand lane. I'm going to make two quick lefts. So everything's going to come by really quick, and I'm going to wind back up on this road heading to our destination, okay? But for now, look straight ahead of us. There's a couple of beige buildings coming into our view. We're looking at the first two from the back side. Has a big blue door. There's a third building off to the right, all right? These three buildings are called the Orbiter Processing Facilities. These buildings were built precisely for the space shuttles. Boeing is another private industry company, and by all means, ladies and gentlemen, work those cameras, okay? Boeing is now using these facilities, and they built one of NASA's new capsules inside the third building. They painted a picture of it to give us an idea of what it might look like in space. Remember, the first two right here we're looking at from the back side. And you'll see the third one, we'll be heading straight towards it, but we're going to make a left turn, okay? All right, so there's three things I want to show you as I make this left-hand turn. One is an M1 armored vehicle. We call this the Crew Escape Vehicle. We place this vehicle around the launch pads during the space shuttle program. Should anything go wrong while the astronauts were on the launch pad, they were able to take a zip line down to the bottom of the launch pad, hop in this vehicle to escape, okay? Right behind it is called the Crew Access Arm. It's a long gray structure with a white box. That is what the astronauts walked across, okay? They come from this side, go through the white box. The white box is actually called the white room, and that's where they get the last-minute adjustments made to their spacesuit before actually climbing aboard. Also, ladies and gentlemen, in the background, you see a big white cone laying down on the ground. That is called the Launch Abort System. The Launch Abort System, that will be stood up and mounted to the top of NASA's new rocket. Please understand, NASA's new rocket is called the Space Launch System, or SLS, okay? And upon liftoff, should anything happen upon liftoff, that device snatches the complete capsule off the top of the rocket and will parachute those astronauts safely back down to the ground. If you look way out in the distance, you see Launch Pad 39A. It's a tall gray tower and a black tower. There's a white little ball right there. That's a water tower, actually. That's Launch Pad 39A. It's a very historic launch pad. Every man that walked on the moon left from right there. NASA launched 82 space shuttle missions from there. SpaceX is now using that launch pad. Bring your attention in a little bit closer. You see a long, skinny white building branching off from the vehicle assembly building. That is the launch control. That's where we hit the button, ladies and gentlemen. It says go for launch, okay? Also, looking back at the front of the vehicle assembly building, you see the word Artemis. Artemis is the name of the program. SLS, or Space Launch System, is the name of the rocket. Now, I want you to look at the very bottom, follow Artemis, all the way down to the very bottom. You should see a little hole in the building. Does anybody see that? Now, Beverly can drive this bus through that door, but we're not doing it today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a little bit too far from retirement, okay? Yeah. To give you a little bit better understanding of the full magnitude of the vehicle assembly building, look back up at the flag, if you will. Look at the last red stripe to the east, all right, or to the far right, all right? After the red stripe, you're going to see a beige color, and then you're going to see a dark gray. Then you're going to see beige again. Follow that beige back down to the low bay of the building. You should see a little square up there, gray square. That is an 8-foot people door. Anybody see that?
Yep.
Also, looking straight across over here, you see Boeing written on the building. You notice it has the capsule, painted up the picture of the capsule on the front. They're going to be launching that in about a couple of weeks. But you see that little door in the middle. That's where the tail of the space shuttle would come in at. Okay?
NASA is known for dreams. Or just...
Alright, so coming up, I want to show you the largest truck in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Please understand, no disrespect to you and your truck, okay? We have two of these trucks. We nicknamed them Hans and Franz, okay? These vehicles just made the Guinness Book of Records. These vehicles weigh over 6 million pounds apiece. These vehicles have been seen in several movies that's been partly filmed right out here at NASA. In these vehicles, they come with 2 driver seats. Take a look at your video. You should see in the upper left-hand corner a glass box. Anybody see that? All right, that is a driver cab. The other driver cab is diagonal across on the opposite side. Or Beverly, why does it have 2 driver seats? It's because this vehicle likes to move forward. Well, can it just make a U-turn? Yes, it can. But it takes 500 feet to make that U-turn, and at 32 feet to the gallon, I think you'd rather go one way or another, okay? Now, you want to see this vehicle up close? There's some white buildings over here off the right side. One has something blue on the end. There's a little black or blue van there. Look on the opposite side, right behind it, you will see. Slow down a little bit, George. Be nice.
Yeah, he's boogieing.
Everybody see that?
I guess they're not getting the scenic tour.
All right, so you'll look behind. Again, you'll see that vehicle again. Oh, we know you're special and you're covered. All right. All right, so I'm going to play a little snippet of the video so you can see the vehicle in motion. I'll just kind of see what it does.
This is a commemorative garden. The tour guide on the coach driver, said that all these trees planted in this dark circle have grown from seeds that have been to the moon and back. These are the 2nd generation, apparently, of the seeds that actually went to the moon and back. So watch out, it's a bit uneven, isn't it? Saturn V. Imagine being on that mess, going up into space. Can't look how far it goes, right down there, look. It's the biggest rocket ever built. coming to the Atlantis hangar. We've just seen the presentation. Look up a little bit. And there's the Atlantis shuttle. It's not been cleaned or washed, it's just as it is when it landed after re-entering Earth's atmosphere from space. Absolutely huge. Just walk around it. There's all the heat tiles underneath. Just need to go and find Debbie and everyone now. It's one of the engines from the shuttle. Here they are. Have a look, climb inside the shuttle cockpit. So we're on the lower ground now. You can see the shuttle from 3 different angles, from 3 different floors. There's a lot of interactive simulations in this building. Good thing is there's a lot of things for the kids as well. The shuttle experience. There's the simulators over there. God knows what that is. Let's have a look. Columbia. Is that the ISS? And we've got the underneath of the shuttle. I think they're going to go on the space shuttle experience, where you can experience the G-forces of shuttle takeoff, the currently being on that slide over there. Right, so we're still at Kennedy. Just come out of that Atlantis experience, shuttle experience. Earlier on, we went into the Orbit Cafe. Me and Debbie ordered bacon cheeseburger and fries, and one drink to share. Half an hour later, we're still waiting for his food. In that time, Kyle had ordered his food, took it away, and eaten it. So one of the managers took over our order, and she basically stood over the people behind the counter as they did it. I did ask about 3 or 4 times the people at the counter if they could chase the order up. Got completely ignored every time. But this lady, she was great. She basically went into the kitchen with a receipt that she printed off, got them to basically make the food. She gave us an extra drink to make it 2 drinks. She put an extra burger on each one of the burgers that we'd ordered. So it was a double bacon cheeseburger, and she also gave us a piece of chocolate gâteau as well to make up for the inconvenience. So yeah, it wasn't ideal. It was like organised chaos. People getting their orders. There was some food sat on that counter for like 10-15 minutes, and the people hadn't still come to collect them. But yeah, the food went pretty decent, to be fair. It's just that it was just waiting for it, and had to get somebody personally involved to chase it up after being ignored by the counter staff.
Okay.
Danny and the kids are on the shuttle experience. We're just round at the smoking area, which is round the back of the cafe. It's a nice quiet area, shaded as well. Well, one of the tables is in the shade. Yeah, it's nice and quiet. We're the only people here. Anyway, what did you think of so far? Yeah.
Oh, it's good. It is good.
I think Mason's enjoying it.
Yeah. Despite his whinging this morning.
Yeah. And what we're doing after this?
It's shooting and putting.
Is it?
Let's go shop.
Yeah, we'll just go out and shop then, and take a nice cruise home. Is that it then?
Everything's shutting now.
Yeah.
It's got late.
Once we get back home though, we're just going back to the apartment. Yeah. Nowhere else to go, is there?
It's up to you.
We did, yeah, but what I'm saying is we did us shopping yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah.
Even though we could do with another box of cereal. Because we've still got like how many days left? 5 days.
Why not call into that shop on the hotel thing? Well,
Because it's bloody expensive.
Some stuff, yeah.
You said you were saying everything were expensive there.
Yeah, well, you could have a look. It's up to you.
It's just because you don't want to call into anywhere else, isn't it? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I know you.
Walmart, then.
I might go to Walgreens instead.
Alright. That's usual, alright.
Yeah, everywhere's Walgreens to me.
Yeah.
That's sat-nav, innit? You just see wall and just got back from Kennedy. I've just gone to Pizza Hut. That's cost us $17. I've got a 1-topping square pizza, cinnamon sticks and cheesy breadsticks for $17. Kyle's got 2 pizzas, 1 at each end, cheesy breadsticks in the middle, pasta, and he's bought some donuts type things for himself as well. He's going to eat them donuts all to himself because he says nobody else is having any.
No, yeah. No bugger off.